Hello, friends. Welcome to Create, Share, Learn Live. My name is Erin Raethke, and I'm joined by Ben Eyles. How are you today, Ben?
I'm so genuinely excited about Father's Day tomorrow. I don't know why. I don't, I don't know. I mean, we're not doing that much that I know of, but I'm just
That sounds
pumped.
pretty perfect. I know that
Yeah,
is my husband's wish for Father's Day is to do as like just like as the key at the lowest key.
yeah, just yeah. No, I think yeah, yeah. I saw Laura come home with a couple of packs of maple bacon and a fresh dozen eggs. I was like, that's heaps. That'll be great.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. My husband's like one wish for Father's Day is for it should just not be a big deal. Like he doesn't want to have to go out to a cafe and load everyone in the car.
Yeah,
And then like it's just, cook some eggs, maybe get a little sleep in,
yeah,
just
yeah,
like chill. Because like we've got a small person in our house as well. So like
yeah.
every
Logistics.
every morning is just like, "You're awake. I want to play. The sun's awake."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We get to about 6:30 in the morning is a pretty good morning. Then Ollie gets up. He's got to find his particular spoon, which is his grandmother's old spoon. So you hear him raiding the drawer, the dishwasher, the whatever to get it before his brother gets it. He always gets up at 7. It's a thing. It's fine.
Now, see, my kid does not bypass. Her first stop is to make sure that everyone else in the house is awake.
Oh, nice.
Like
Yes.
that is the essential. It's like when people come out of cryo sleep in the sci-fi movies, and it's
Yeah.
someone's job to go around and wake everybody else up. That's my kid.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, well, our little one will do that too. But first, he gets the spoon. Then he'll
It's
muck
first thing.
around for a
There it
bit,
is.
do a bit of
First,
Lego or cars, but then he'll get, obviously want a bit more engagement. So he'll come up and sort of wake you up and he'll be there holding his spoon.
oh, that's really cute though. That is
I'm
so
sure it'll be
cute. I
cute.
love
It'll be
that.
cute in 10 years' time when he's got like stubble and, you know, all of that's
When he's
behind
got
us.
when he brings someone home and you've got someone to tell stories
Oof,
at, but
oof.
while he's in the background, like dislocating his eyes, they're rolling so much up the back of your head,
Yes.
going, "Dad,
Dad,
stop it."
Dad, don't tell her that. Yeah.
It's going to be so good.
Oh, no.
So many stories from this era that are going to come out. Take notes now.
That's it. You think you'll remember,
So,
but you forget.
well, happy Father's Day in advance for tomorrow.
Thank you much. Cheers. And to
May you.
everyone in your world.
I'm so happy that your house is blessed with maple bacon. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it should be good. Should be good. I hope it's for Father's Day. If it's for school
It's just
lunches or
nothing
something, I'm
else.
going to be gutted. Is that
It's
for
like
no?
10 o'clock and you're like, so it's like not for you.
Yeah. Anyway, that's quite true.
uh,
Laura,
but no,
if you're
and
watching, come on.
it's a funny old season too, as saying there's my sorry.
Mhm.
I have just like today is like my first day of coming good after having like a really, really horrible head cold go through the house. Obviously, started with the tiny person because that is
Yeah.
how all plagues start, and it's basically knocked out the whole week. So yeah, we've got like we got our groceries delivered and left at the door just so that we weren't going to infect anybody. It's been like a miserable week, so I'm really, really happy to be here. Stoked, actually. It's so good. But it's a very weird feeling because I feel like I've lost like a whole week of my life.
Just from
And
illness.
there's so much going on next week that we will cover shortly. But I'd love to share with you and with everybody. And it's just like so weird because I thought I had all this time to prepare, and now it's just like, oh no, that's in 3
Yeah,
days.
I know.
Oh my goodness.
September is no joke. It's just gone. Yeah.
So it's great for me that my husband's like, no, low key, because then I organize and have to do like basically nothing, and that's what he's happy with. Winning.
Put a
Um,
ring on
so,
it. What a legend.
oh, he's good people. He's very, very good people. So what we would like to do, obviously, is we have a little bit of a chitty chat, and then we will share some of our lovely Very, very deeply thought of. Topical
News.
news.
Nice news. I like it.
So, did you want to launch into your bit of news, Ben? It seems to
Yeah,
be a topic for every episode now.
it is. Now let me see if I can screen share, but I just want to share a window because I've got one of these new monitors with like width. So if I share my screen, it now just looks like a Christopher Nolan movie. Super
Boom.
white with lots of black bars. So there we go.
You could just
So
like share like half a window. Yeah, that looks good.
yeah. Now we of course we will talk in more detail about the Adobe Educators Conference and lots of other things that are coming up.
Mm-hmm.
It's on October 2. It's online. You can join in it from anywhere as long as you've got internet.
Mm-hmm.
You might know some of the presenters, they're pretty great. And yeah, jump along. Yeah. Now, two things. I'm going to start off on the grumpy thing, which is a really good thing, I think. So, this story,
Yes.
I'm catching up on it, but effectively, AI company has to pay a reasonable sum of money to authors and creators. Um, I don't know the American term, class actiony kind of thing. I'm not
Yes.
good at Australian law, let alone American law. But effectively, it's going to work out to like if you do the maths, 1.5 billion. That's a lot of zeros, and
It's a lot of zeros.
$3,000 per book that's gone into training this language model.
Which
So
gives you
yeah,
some idea as to the scale. If they have to pay $1.5 billion to authors and it's only $3,000 per book,
wild, isn't it? Yeah, just
that's
wild.
that's a lot of zeros.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not going to read this to you now, but it's an interesting kind of story how they got there. It started off with like three writers just going, you know what? This generated text sounds a lot like me. And
Mm,
then goes on from there. But firstly, I'm always glad when a creator gets a paycheck these days. I think that's good. I hope this kind of, I'm just going to talk through my feelings now instead of eating my
yeah, I
feelings.
have feelings about this too, from something that happened actually recently as well. So by all means, let's share our feelings.
I mean, I'm sort of like Anthropic. They're Claude, aren't they? That's them, Claude
I
AI.
can't keep track of them
Sorry,
anymore.
if they're not. I just feel like
Oh my god, there's too many of them. There's so
well,
many of them using so much water.
that's the thing. And this is the essence of my gripe is this. Now, I don't necessarily want to live in a real life Terminator movie. I'm
No.
not the best at self-defense or defense or any of that kind of offensive, defensive thing. Can't fight, but I I just thought AI would be better by like you know what I mean? Like it does there's bits I like. I like sometimes that you can remove things that was a lot of work in Photoshop and things
Yeah.
like that. But for the most part, I just find myself using it, reading it, going, well, thanks, but you forgot something. And now I've got to go in and fix it. And then by the time you fix it, it kind of you could have done it yourself, or you spend the whole time arguing with it, and you feel like you're about two prompts away from getting it, and then it says you've used up your allocation. Come back in 12 hours or something, and you just, I'm just
I
feeling very,
dislike the reliance that's trying to be set up on it.
yeah,
That's the thing, that the main thing that I really question when it comes to usage of, because there are AI tools that are being integrated into everything. I have noticed my computer get noticeably slower since it auto-loaded Copilot, because I'm running a Microsoft system.
yeah.
It's auto-installed Copilot onto this computer and
Thanks for
it
that.
uses
Yeah,
so much memory. And I turn it off and I shut it down, and trying to find the settings where things don't auto start when you boot
Good
your
luck.
computer up is getting harder and harder. There's so much bloatware. And I mean, my computer isn't a bad computer. Like it's got a fair amount of RAM, it's got an all right processor, but it can't handle all of this stuff that's being like stuffed into my computer, because it's not just, I mean, that's an example, but like every program is getting AI wedged into it. You can't just like search for a person by name on like just their social media profile anymore on one of the platforms. It's like an AI chat that's built in, and it tries to like suggest all of this other stuff. It's like, no, I'm literally looking for Ben. I just want to find Ben. I've typed Ben's name in there. I just want to make sure I have his profile. Do you mean Benjamin Franklin? No, I don't. I've written no.
Google,
This is not what I want.
I don't want your summary, man. I just want to know where
No, I don't
KFC
want tickets to
is.
Hamilton.
Yeah, I don't want the history of Kentucky Fried Chicken. I just want to know the closest one in Canberra because I'm hungry, you know.
Yeah, and it's what's really like the focus for me when it comes to the scraping, which is like what this article is about. Particularly, this article is about the data scraping. Is the fact that because I do voiceover work myself. Not to like, I could not support myself if that was all I did as like a freelancer. I do it like for a private institution. So but I also obviously follow and learn a lot from people who are, you know, full-time voice actors, and there is definitely a thing where those people's voices and the voice files of them narrating things are getting scraped, and then their voice is being used to create an AI voice generator without their consent and without the author's consent of the people whose books they're narrating. I have a artist that my husband and I listen to a lot. I will name him Peyton Parrish. He does really amazing covers of Disney songs. And if you have small humans in your home and they become absolutely obsessed with a particular song, that man is a blessing on this earth to do the covers that he does, where it gives you just like that little bit of variation and it makes them new and fresh again. And then they become her favorites. Then she plays them 15 times a day, every day. But yeah, he does amazing covers. And I was listening to like random suggested music. Again, AI generated suggestions, and it came up with this band I'd never heard of that I started listening to. I'm like, oh, he must have done like a guest vocal for this band. No, it was AI generated, and I listened to it. Then I listened to it again. I'm like, no, that's his voice. They've whatever generated they're using, they have sampled him and then had it generate his voice singing this song that they've written.
Don't make
and I just went,
mad, Erin.
Yuck. And so I sent a message to him, his social media. I don't know if he, you know, would even have time to ever see it, or if he even bothers trying to chase it up, because again, as an individual artist, trying to follow up on these things would be really hard. And just like this show alone, there's enough of you and I talking for a fair sample to be taken of our voices and for our dulcet tones to be used, which is a really scary prospect.
It is scary, but at the same point, it's like I would like to live, you know, and still do our thing. But it's just that unpleasant feeling about it all. I think I'm just a bit over. You know, you'll write something or get someone to look at it and they'll say, oh, this is really good. Which AI did you use for this? And you're like, maybe nothing. Like, you know, it just, and you just find yourself having these really funny conversations all the time about it.
What I just appreciate with AI tools is when a company is transparent with where they've sampled their work from.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I really like dislike about a lot of the AI tools that are out there, is that there's no disclosure as to what they've sampled or how they've come across it. It's just a part of this giant enclosed data sample that they've taken from the internet. And it's like, but then they've got all of this article, so I did read it when you sent it through to me, that they have, you know, sampling pirated artwork, sampling pirated books, sampling pirated things. Just because you can access it on the internet does not mean you should. You and I are both of an age where we remember the absolute uproar with Napster and those music downloading programs where individuals were sharing music that they had ripped to their computers.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, but it's on an industrial scale.
Yeah.
But instead of individuals now taking other people's work and using it without their permission, consent, or remuneration, it's now these AI corporations.
Yeah.
That's doing like an industrial equivalent, but it's very concerning to me that parallel hasn't, like, it's taken a while for that parallel to be reflected and for people to go, well, no, it's not okay that you've just taken all of these people's work.
Yeah.
And I do notice in that article as well, it does mention that they're supposed to delete what they've sampled that has been taken without people's permission. So they have to pay the money and they have to delete what they've taken. But how is there transparency to make sure that they've actually deleted that? And do they delete the actual physical file as well as all of the data construct that has been created as a result of that file? Or is it just the originating file that sits behind everything? So all of that text, all of those key points, all of those data points are now still sitting in the cloud. It's just there's a file not found. But text can be read by computers and then stored in another form. So how do they even quantify whether or not that has been deleted is really interesting to me.
Yeah. No, I just find it all interesting in a sad way. I do find, that satisfaction you used to get when you made something. But I find when you make with AI, you have to make like almost exponential amounts to get the same level of, I feel like I've made something, kind of dopamine, I don't know. It's just a funny time. I'm not thoroughly enjoying it. It's, I acknowledge it's got to be super challenging for educators. It's all right for you to sort of say, look, if you're really, really good at what you're going to do, you're going to be better at AI at something, so you'll probably be okay. But in that bit where you're learning, or if you're just not great at something, but you have to do it, that's where
well, one of my great concerns is that by using AI tools, I try to be picky about how I use AI tools, and I try to be transparent when I have used AI tools, because I don't want to inadvertently be violating somebody's copyright, infringing on their work that they have created in real life. And that's the concern I have as a person who creates things and puts them out there, is I really don't like the idea of stealing other people's stuff. It's an uncomplicated concern that I have. I don't like that idea at all. It makes me feel yuck, because I don't like it when other people have in the past taken my work and have passed it off as their own for whatever reasons they may or may not have, disclosed to me after the fact. But I know, and they know that they did.
Yeah.
But they got away with it and got the outcomes that they wanted, and that's not a nice feeling. And I never think about it late at night ever again.
Karma has a long tail, Erin. Not saying you're going to get them back, but it's just like you just don't be a bullhead. So anyway, that's on my mind.
Don't be a bullhead. That is words to live by.
I just find I'm trying to find the AI I trust. I don't really have one, I think, for the written stuff. I'm reasonably comfortable with the Firefly, you know what I mean, just by testing it, particularly because I'm coming from the school account. I did my very scientific test of, what did I tell you that? Darth Vader next to a HQ Holden. Put it into...
both copyrighted things.
Not Anthropic, but, something similar. And it made it for me, and it looked great. And I had a Holden logo and a HQ Holden, and Darth Vader looked very Darth Vader-y. And then I chucked it in the Firefly, and it just straight up gave me an error message and said, "You can't do that. That's not working." And I thought, well, you know what? That's good. I like that. Fair enough. I feel better now. Do you want some good news?
Yes, well, let's move on to a couple of things that are going on
Yeah.
in
Thanks.
like well our collective lives as people who work in the educational space online, and then me personally as a person who is local to some of these events. Now I'm just going to add that to the stage.
Send it.
Is it going to
Make me feel happy again, Erin.
move? What is it going on about? It doesn't want to share my screen. Stop. Present.
Stop.
Da,
Do I
da,
have
da,
to
da, da,
remove
da,
mine
da.
from stage? Will that help? Look at this.
No, there we
There you
go.
Maybe it was
So,
my fault. Sorry, Erin.
no, I don't think so. I think I was just having a little hiccup. So,
Hiccup.
with oh, I've got an eyelash. Excuse me.
That's all right. This is live TV.
Now,
Eyelashes and hiccups, people.
now, Ben mentioned earlier that there is the Adobe the ANZ Educators Conference for 2025 that is on October the 2nd. We do have a link to this page, which is the Australian New Zealand PL, or Professional Learning Events. That is a good link to have because it does constantly update. So that is going to be on actually before our next episode goes to air. It's going to be a great event. It's all online. There's a conference site. You can already register for the plenaries. And I know that Tim Kinchin from Adobe is in the process of organizing all of the workshops from all of the presenters so that people can register for those online as well. But it isn't just online. There is also some Adobe Creative Educator courses that are actually going to be happening locally in my area, and some of which are this coming Monday and Tuesday, the 8th and the 9th of September, in person in Brisbane at TAFE Queensland South Bank campus from 4 p.m. to 5:30 or 6-ish. Those are going to be held. And then there's also the in-person creation seminar part of the aforementioned Educators Conference that's also going to be held in Brisbane at South Bank. And it's an all-day event on Friday, the 26th of this September. So I will definitely actually be physically there for these two, and probably for this one, it's just a matter of finagling family commitments for that last date. But I'm really, really looking forward to seeing anyone who does have the ability to rock up on these two dates in person. And hopefully I will see you there.
That's it. Get along, get Erin's autograph while you still can. Skyrocket in value.
Oh, hopefully not too much, because you know what that usually causes by.
Yeah, actually, Faco, bring it back. Wheel it back,
Yeah.
Ben.
Yeah, wheel it back. So that's gonna be an amazing event, and I'm really, really, really looking forward to it. The other thing that I did just want to share
Yes, please.
is just recently, and because I lost a week because I was sick. It feels like it happened this week, but it didn't. There was a really, really interesting guest speaker at the one of the Adobe events, John Penn II. He is a very inspiring technological professional who is an absolute champion, because he is the prime example of someone who goes along to a professional development conference, has a very particular set of skills, in his case, Photoshop and picture manipulation. And he has made his own job basically by assisting law enforcement literally across the globe to learn about the data and footage that is shared of missing and exploited people across the globe, teaches law enforcement about all sorts of different ways that they can track, find, and prosecute these people and find the victims and hopefully get them home safely. And if you ever have the opportunity to listen to him speak, this is just my notes page that I've got the link shared up there at the moment. My notes that I took during his talk that he did live, where it is a sobering but important reminder, especially for people who are caretakers of young or vulnerable people, people who are parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, you know, funties and funkles. If you don't have a blood relative, but you are that really fun friend who doesn't have kids, but you have, you know, people that you love who do, there are things that you can do to try to create relationships. Because that was one of the things during the Q&A I asked John, you know, because he's been doing this for a long time now. And I did, you know, ask him questions like, you know, if there's one, you know, piece of behavior or one thing that people could start doing to lessen the potential of the bad thing happening in the first place, so it doesn't get to the point where these law enforcement officials are being helped by you. And one of his big takeaways was that you have to be a safe space for the young and vulnerable people in your life to come to say, there's something happening that I'm really not comfortable about. I may have done something wrong, because that's one of the big things, is that young people especially are preyed upon by predators, and they make them feel like going and asking for help or for a trusted adult to step in is going to get them personally in trouble. And so they don't reach out and get themselves into even more trouble. So his advice was to be the safe space, be the person that your child or can go to say, I've been talking to this person, they've asked me to do XYZ, they've asked me to send them XYZ, and it doesn't feel right. I need help. And for you to be able to help them without judgment or punishment, which I think is really, really valuable, because that's the thing, like most, you know, it used to be that, you know, you had to worry about the people you know or the people that are in your circles. But now with the internet being what it is, and again, it's another example, Ben, like AI, of something that was created but is not being used for good, because the average person could not have even imagined what nefarious, revolting individuals would try to use that tool to do and create and get access to. And so his amazing work that he's been doing to educate, yes, children may do nothing wrong and still have scammers, bad actors or predators included, coming at them. Boys are particularly at risk for being approached by someone pretending to be a girl online to manipulate them. And your children need to know that you are open and that they can go to you if they are worried about something feeling wrong. So I thought that was a really important takeaway, a really important share, because obviously, you know, we've talked a lot about it on the show of, you know, risks to young people, the legislation that's being passed in Australia to restrict social media accounts for people under a certain age. Like, it's an evolving space. But the best thing that we can do is, you know, trigger warnings included. Like, you have to look at this sort of stuff and you have to start thinking about whether or not you are educated enough to recognize some of the signs, and whether or not you're doing enough to make sure that your kiddo knows, even if they've been talking to someone they shouldn't have, they've created an account on a device that they shouldn't have access to, that if someone starts saying or doing something dodgy, that they can just go,
that's it. It's that safe space, plus the self-esteem development. All of it was such a good yarn. Like, even if you were technically just in, like, if you're a Photoshop nerd, it was good combo to listen into on that. It was interesting to hear how a lot of the features we use were kind of born from scenarios or even like little tools we use every day. boost a shadow, brighten a thing, invert a something. You know,
Yeah.
it would, really, really, save hundreds of kids.
Yeah. I think it was, what was it in, did I note it down on my page? Somewhere 40, the rescue of 40,000 children.
Yeah, that's the number.
These tools being added to law enforcement's toolbox,
Yeah.
40,000 children across the globe.
Yeah.
And yeah, so doom and gloom aside, what I did also really find very, very inspiring from John's demonstration and his talk was how he talks about how the cooperation between global, state, and local enforcement agencies on if they found out that there was a bad actor or a
Yeah.
perpetrator in their local area that was out of their personal jurisdiction, but it was in another country, they would just like, yep, make sure that that information is shared with the appropriate authorities just to try to get the information where it needed to go to get the outcomes that were required, which I just like is so good.
That's it, folks. Follow the links, listen in. You'll learn a
Definitely
thing.
worth your time. Yeah.
Agreed.
Now, to segue around such a sobering topic, shall we move on to our favorite segment where we get to
Yeah.
nerd out for a little bit called, are you ready, Ben?
Yeah.
Right. Nerd. So nerd. Okay, so Ben, did you want to share first?
Oh, I'm never ready. Yeah, mine is quick tonight. Boink. Here we are. And this is like this little, just dirty trick you use. I'm always look, YouTube has ads on it, and it's a very popular platform. It's got comments. Sometimes they're a dumpster fire. I do think there is value in teaching young people or just people how to navigate this, focus here on what they want, ignore this, or add something constructive and positive to this. And, yeah. However, there are times where you just don't want to go there. You just want them to focus on the content and not have their attention broken by an ad for, oh, what do you get advertised at the moment? At the minute, mine is like for like, must because I've turned 40, but it's like marriage counseling, like secondhand sports cars. Like, what other cliches can you inflict upon a newly 40-year-old? Yeah.
Wrinkle patches, man.
Yes.
I get absolutely inundated with advertising for wrinkle patches.
Yeah.
And child rearing things, like basically, yeah, all of the things. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
you're a woman over 40, you must be insecure about how you're raising your child, so here are all these products that you have to buy in order to be a good mother,
That's
and by
it.
the way, you're wrinkly.
Yes. Yeah, I
um
get all of them. Plus,
yep.
you need these tablets to make sure everything's
Yep.
working. And yeah. Anyway, so if you want to remove all of that, this little
Yes,
trick
please.
I learned from Jordan Priestley, who is another sort of like, if you want an education influencer that has quality, Jordan Priestley, she's from New Zealand. So you come up here to the Omni bar or the search bar in whatever browser. And then if you're real good, it works on any device too. So you can tap or click. I go between the T and the U, not the U and the T and the U, and put a little dash in there, right?
So it's
And
YouTube.
yeah, exactly. So
Okay.
YOUT-UBE. You visit the video, fire up the link, pop that dash in there, hit enter or go or whatever. It's going to cook for a second. And then it's going to play the video full screen, stripped back, no comments, no things, but you can just kind of focus on the video. And it also changes the link to YouTube, nocookie.com/embed, blah, 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 blah.
So is it actually taking you to a totally different website, or is it just a different version of YouTube's website that is no cookies?
Yeah, not 100% sure. It's
Yeah.
I think it's still YouTube. As far as I know, it still looks very YouTubey. I haven't really gotten that far into it just because it works.
It
And I
does.
like it. The other thing that's really good, so if we go to the end of this video by Paul Traney, I love Paul. If we go to the end and play it, wait for it. It loops.
Oh, nice.
So instead of trying to do the VLC, trying to find the app to loop your videos on the school TV or whatever, you can do it with this. So if you only got a 5-minute clip of white noise, I don't use it all the time. I still think, I use YouTube regularly most of the time, but for those instances where you need it to,
You need to be clean. You need a clean version of the video.
it's just a neat little thing.
Yeah. Not every platform you can like insert an iframe and then get the embed link and then do that, because it's essentially what it's doing. It's just
Totally.
creating a clean iframe that is full screen that also
Totally.
loops.
So you'll find the next little bit really boring. That's a public video, and sometimes you'll say it doesn't load. If you refresh it, you're usually good. Occasionally you'll get say this video here. This is a video me and my kids made in Express with drawings. It's very boring for everyone, but I'm going to share it to you because I have a podcast. And
Adorbs.
the kids' drawings, we animated them.
Aww.
Yeah, I know. So that's an unlisted video, and every now and then the hypheny, you do the little dash up here, it has some hiccups. So that's where you follow that advice Erin just gave. We go to the share button, you go down to embed, and then if you grab that link in there, wait till the end of the text, copy that. This is a little bit nerdier, but you imagine you could be organized and copy and paste these before class. This is, and then if you go to a new tab, paste it in, you'll be okay too. So you end up in that same spot. So, but yeah. Anyway, that's my share this week. You can either chuck in a little dash between the T and the U, strips everything back. If you have some hiccups, you can go in, and that hiccup might be because it's an unlisted video or whatever. You can try and go into the embed code and just pull out that little bit in there as well, and you'll probably be okay too. And that's me. Look at that. That's got to be a new land speed record for me.
No worries. No, good share. But now
Thanks,
what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clean up my desktop.
No, it's fine. It's a safe space. Let us into your digital brains. We had zombies. Now we can have brains.
Now, here's one I created earlier. There's something that I wanted to share.
An angel got its wings.
Because this feature takes time to cook.
Ooh, okay.
Full disclaimer. It takes time to cook, and I can't trust, because when I was doing pre-show testing and making sure that everything was working, things weren't working the way I would have liked live. So I am going to pivot away from this if it absolutely just goes it is not love and life. I reserve the right to do so, but this is in an Adobe Express project, right? Which I have named. So that's the one I started preparing earlier, but this is the steps of how I got there, okay? So this is a completely from scratch thing. You do not need any special software. If you work in Queensland, education, K through 12, you can log in using your work credentials into Adobe Express, and you can 1,000% go in and give this a crack yourself. You do not need to have any special experience. By all means, pause me while it cooks and keep trying that out if you're watching us from the recording. I don't think we have anyone joining us live that might want to try this, but definitely give it a crack, okay? Are you ready? Let's go. we've gone to the Adobe Express website. Now, that is express.adobe.com. Okay. Banner at the bottom of the screen. Okay, this is the website that we're on. I've logged in using my credentials. I'm on the page. I'm going to create a video. Okay, now to do that, I'm going to press this little plus button at the top left-hand corner of the screen. And I am going to go to video, which is this option just here. There's also the option to create a video there, but I'm going to use this one here. And I'm going to create a mobile video on this demo one that I'm doing, and then I'll flip back to my other one if it takes too long. Okay. So it says drag and drop media to get started, MP4, movie, JPEG, and more. Now I'm going to use the media that is available in the Adobe stock that's in Express because I have access and licensing, and that is good. And it makes life easier. I can, of course, go across over to Adobe stock and pull things from that and license them and get them onto my computer and then re-upload them. But this is much easier. So I am going to type in a keyword.
Rocket. Yeah.
Rocket. And I want a video over Rocket. I want a cute video over Rocket because I like me a cute video. And I love also the fact that this one has a fairly clear background. This will be important later.
I feel like there's a dad joke in this.
I'm just going to leave you to that. So here's this cute little rocket. It's rocketing up through the portrait-oriented video, right?
Nice.
Now, we are then going to look at this little video, right? It's sitting there. I am going to then duplicate it so you can see the difference there.
Gotcha. So we're going to cop a before and an after.
Yep. Okay. Okay. So I've duplicated it in two ways. The first one was to create a before and after. The second one was to create a copy above and below. So now I have two layers of the same video, right? And now I'm going to drag this backwards.
Can I just add in there, Erin, because this is for my benefit. So when I watch this tape back, you can see the hierarchy of the layers in the top right-hand corner there.
You can.
Whereas on a traditional video timeline, you would see that down on the timeline. You don't get that in Express. That little rectangle above the chunkier rectangle is just illustrating the timing of the layer above it. Did any of that make sense? Don't know. Watch it back a few times. Email me if you want a hand. Yeah.
And when I do a Premiere version of this, I will show you exactly what he's talking about. So right now I've got two layers of exactly the same video, but they're slightly offset, which is a thing that it does, which annoys me deeply. So let's just get that centered. I'm going to select both layers and I'm going to center them evenly by using those little guidelines there, right?
Yeah.
Center, click, no. Now you're not going to center for me, are you?
What if you go position, over there on the left?
No, I can just see where I've gone.
No, you'll get.
Because I'm trying to demonstrate the guidelines.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Just doesn't want to do the horizontal ones. Isn't that interesting? There it is. Found ya. Okay, so we've got them in the same spot. They started the same thing. Now I'm going to start it cooking. Now, in order for this effect to work, you need to have two layers of exactly the same video, and you need to have the top layer, the layer that sits on the top, you need to remove its background. Now that feature sits over here under video, edit, remove background. You have to make sure you only have that one selected that you want to remove, and ideally it's the one on the top. You can shuffle the layers around. Don't panic if you accidentally click the bottom one and remove the background for that. You just switch it on because they're the same video. They are identical. Okay, so it's going to sit there and it's going to think about it for a really long time. But the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit more duplicating by adding some text. So I am going to say add my text, and I'm going to say take off. Okay. And then what am I going to do? I'm going to make it bigger than that. Whee! And I'm going to say, yes, I do want a border. And I'm going to say, actually, I want the text to be white. And I'm going to say that maybe I want it to be dynamic.
Oh, nice.
Maybe I even want it to go sideways. There are lots of ways that you can bake this particular cake. Let's not overcomplicate things, shall we? I've made it a video that goes up and down, so let's make the text go up and down, right? Now I'm going to make this something really quite bold. Source Sans 3 is fine. For the purposes of the demonstration, Source Sans 3 is fine. So right now I've got my text, I've got my top layer, which was a rocket, and I've got my next layer down, which was a rocket. Now I'm going to duplicate that text again, right? By going to that little ellipsis there, and I'm going to hit duplicate.
Yep.
So now I have 2 times the word takeoff and 2 times a rocket, right? And again, it's offset because reasons. Someone decided that would be a good idea. So I'm going to make them sit over the top of each other. I've got the one on top selected. I'm now going to go into the color for this text over on the left-hand side, and I'm going to select the box that has the big red sash through it that says no color. There is no color in this text. So there is only, there is only an outline. There should be no text, and I can show that if I just move it over a little bit. Now that line's not very thick. I want my line to be thicker, so I'm going to make it thicker. Ah, beautiful. Very good, very good. So now I've got my text. It's sitting over the top of things. It is beautiful.
It's looking
good.
And
now what I'm going to do, I've got my takeoff twice. I've got my rocket twice. I'm now going to pull that underneath the rocket that's had the background removed. And now as the rocket moves through, it's going to take off.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm a little bit annoyed because for whatever reason, the footage isn't quite synced perfectly. But you know what the beauty part of this is? I don't need to have the same part of the footage. So I picked landscape footage for a reason. So when I play that, and you can see it's like a little bit doubled because it doesn't quite speed match. I can just move that background across a little bit if I like, because there's lots of interesting things going around in the background here as well.
So good.
And now I've got my little rocket taking off through the text in different layers, just doing its thing.
That's
so
snazzy.
I can do that with anything and it can be really effective, a way to introduce a transition, to have something happening in the background. The one I prepared earlier in my stuff was fish. And those fish, I have my 2 layers. I have the fish sitting in the foreground. This one's a little bit more difficult because it's a more organic footage. So you have the background original footage, then you have the fish. So if you were to add the text and do that with this one, and whoop, cancel. There we go. Again, I'm going to make my text white because it just like pops on a dark background. I do like a nice, bold, white text. Got to make it big.
Big. Look at that.
Make that beautiful and big. It's never going to be as clean, I don't think, in things like Adobe Express with the background removal tool as it would be in like a beefier program like Premiere, right? Like it's just you have limitations of what a browser-based video editor can do. That is just the nature of things. But just for the sake of things, already got my pre-cooked fishies, already got my aquarium text. I'm going to select the text, hit that little ellipsis, duplicate it, make it sit in the same spot, because how dare you move off center just a little bit. Going to go and remove that fill. So it's just an outline. Going to make it a thick honka chonka outline. There we go. And then I can just pull that text through there. And it isn't quite as effective with this one, but as some of the fishies swim through.
Yeah, no, you can see the effect. It's kind of cool. Very cool.
Yeah. There's a lot that you can do with this. There's a lot of different ways that you can push it. The fish is a pretty ambitious version of it, but it's also pretty cute. Like you can see what it's trying to do there. Obviously, the more contrast, the less moving parts, the easier time it's going to have removing the background from the video. Just like with the rocket, where it's a far more effective thing. But yeah, there's a couple of different ways that you can go about it. So I just thought that's a really cool way for you to have an easy onboard of experimenting with layers, where you go, I don't know what I need to create. It's like, well, you can just create a little video of little fishies, or a dog running across, or a horse running across the screen, and make the word what you're showing. Have your 2 layers of text and your 2 layers of video, one of which has had that background removed, and just have a bit of a play, because this is applicable to people who are working in the video space. This is applicable to people who are working in Photoshop all the time, like Ben. Just start wrapping your head around layers, because you will increase your skills to the point where you start to outgrow things like Adobe Express. You sort of open up Photoshop and you go, actually, now that I know what they're talking about when it comes to layers, this isn't actually as intimidating as it originally was. Now I just have to learn where all the controls are.
Well, that's it. That's the hard thing. Like when you're trying to, this is much harder to be overwhelmed in Express, which means you can talk about the layer sandwich kind of thing. And
a tasty layer sandwich.
I know it gives you the idea. But when you're trying to teach that in Photoshop, Premiere, Final Cut, whatever, the UI user interface is more intimidating.
And it's fully customizable, which is worse somehow when you're first getting started. The fully customizable interface.
Rick down the back has lost his layer panel again, and you go find it for him and set it up, and then it goes again. And you don't have that.
And there is not a single viewing a video tutorial channel that has the same layout every time across multiple people, because everyone has it set up differently.
Exactly. So you get the concepts down in Express, and then it is a cakewalk in your more fancy applications.
Absolutely. And there's one more thing that I did want to share.
Oh, please.
Which is something that we went, like right after our last episode. And I'm not going to demo it today, because I'm like, honest to goodness, like a little bit nervous that my computer might go. Because I did not have the opportunity to actually test it out myself prior to this broadcast, and we are running to the end of our episode. But Project Neo is in beta in Adobe Illustrator. What is Project Neo, you might ask? This is where you can go from 2D to 3D with a web app that's now open in public beta, and you can import and export SVG files from Illustrator into here. So there's like lots of different ways that you can go about creating things. And this is actually a fantastic use case for where AI can be used in a really fantastic way to make what would be too high a lift for the average punter the ability to be able to go in and take their 2D things into 3D. So if you happen to have access to Adobe Illustrator and you have installed the beta, you can click a try now button. However, it is available online. You can go in and you can import vectors, you can create 3D type, you can generate things from a scene, you can go through and just go nuts. It is a public beta, so I'm not talking out of school here. It is available for people to have to play with. So if that is something that interests you, if you find yourself sort of going, ooh, then I definitely recommend you have a little bit of a look and have a bit of a play and see how it goes. Like this is like, I was a little bit worried when this first started and I'm like, oh no, it's okay. It's just a cat. But yeah, how cool is this? Will you have your picture?
Excellent. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. The next thing on my skill radar I want to get is I want to be really good at tracing stuff in Illustrator. I'm not very good at it. Erin, teach me. And because it starts
Mate,
to unlock
I am still a
bunch of
cheerful amateur myself.
I'm just like, Illustrator's got 2 move buttons. It's like, whoa, man. Like if you think Photoshop's hard.
No, that is the thing. Like Illustrator is one of those things where I will very, very like happily admit my ignorance and my capacity for learning new things, because I look at this and I go, oh my goodness, they make it look so easy. But all you need to do is have an in. Like legitimately, you have to have something that you need to create for a reason.
Yep.
And then that is how you start to learn things. Like Ben and I didn't just like pick up Photoshop and just go, oh, we're naturals, we absolutely know how to do all of this. Like
I'm not
back
natural.
in the day, I started in photography, like literally developing pictures in the darkroom in my high school during my lunch times with black and white film, because black and white film was all we could afford. And our cameras were ancient, and that was my introduction to like proper photography, other than like the little 24 shot wind up camera things that, you know, the film rolls that you could get. And I've gone from that to this digital age, which is just crazy.
It's fun.
We all had to learn how to use it all at some point. Like
that's it.
There's no such thing as a digital native. It's all about exposure. You have to have a reason.
That's it.
You have to have an in.
Well, how
so
good was that?
That is me. I'll pull that up. Nice. There we go. So I guess what are our main takeaways? Because what did I even title? Is a creativity pays off. I think that is valid. That is a valid thing, whether or not it's because you are a part of a class action against a organization who has been stealing your data and your creative output, and they have to pay you back for it, whether or not that is because you have to create something new for a particular project. And it could be making a compilation of videos of your kiddo for their birthday party that's coming up.
That's right.
You could be putting together a photo album and creating a collage so that you can upload it to, you know, insert your photo book creating platform of choice here because maybe their user interface is a little bit dodgy and you want to be really particular on how it's all laid out. So you get your photos from your phone, you install something like Adobe Express and you pop your photos up into there to get the layout exactly right, and then you upload that one image and you get it put into a book so that you've got a physical copy of those photos forever. Because I don't know about you, Ben, but my phone is physically heavier from all of the literally hundreds of thousands of photos of my daughter, many of which are just exactly the same moment, but just like seconds apart.
Yeah.
My phone is physically heavier. If I was to delete all of the photos of my kid off of it, it would be like...
It would, you got to take a lot of photos.
But then, if something happens to my cloud subscription, if something happens to that device, those photos are gone forever. As it is, I pulled out my wallet that has all of my SD cards in it, and I've got a couple of dead ends from when I first started doing photography. Everything that was on those are now gone.
It's just hard to find stuff to plug in. Like, I share a CD drive with my buddy, and I'm 40 and he's 30 something, and between us we have one CD drive to read CDs. Like, they were on everything. I mean, you could USB ports are changing. Zip drives, how cool are zip drives? Like, as in those things from the past. I was like, oh, what a cool little bit. Anyway, go on. Print your stuff.
Gigantic box external hard drive that had its own built-in fans and everything into it. That would cost so much money. And now everything's cloud. But again, if you are part of data breach and you lose access to that cloud.
Print your stuff.
Print your stuff. If you are a creative and you have created videos, if you have created photos, definitely consider using some of these digital tools to actually create something that is tangible and lasting out of what you have created. Obviously, use reputable websites when saving precious memories, especially private photos. I think that goes without saying. But it's one of those things where if you can create some sort of tangible, even if it is going to the local, big shop down the road and taking those precious photos on a USB stick that you're confident about and sticking it into a machine and getting physical copies of those photos printed out so that you can manually scrapbook them. Because that's the thing, I've made a couple of scrapbooks for my kid, and there is a lot of love, a lot of rough love for those tangible photos of those people that are in our lives, because it's so different to looking at it on a screen.
Absolutely.
And then if you can create other cool things with digital tools that are, a little bit more multimedia, back those videos up as well. Maybe, if you have your own platform that isn't just a drive sitting somewhere where you can actually find a reason to interact with those things that you create, definitely do it. I love following Ben on social media because, you get to see a lot of the beautiful photography that he's doing in the wild.
Yeah.
Your black and white versus color. I love it so much.
Like your stuff.
Whereas, a lot of the pictures that I take on the daily, I will never put up anywhere because I'm vaguely obsessed with my child. More than vaguely, deeply, deeply obsessed with my child. But because of the type of things that I learned, because I, listen to people like John, I'm now a lot more hesitant about putting information up online about my kiddo. Simply because you just don't know where it's going to end up, and it makes me go it gives me the ick, the idea of strangers looking at my kid.
Yeah. No, fair enough. I agree.
If I share things, it's very strategic, and I do think deeply about it before I put it up now, because I just sort of go, I've definitely become a lurker on things like Facebook. I don't tend to post a lot of stuff about my personal situation because of that specific thing.
I think
I have concerns.
We're all going that. I mean, you just have to look at the sales of like Instax cameras to go that a lot of people are going analog as best they can. Some things
you probably love this, Ben. I dug out my TG1 And because I was looking online at little cameras for my kiddo to point and shoot, and they were like wanting $70 for a kid's camera that just happened to be a happy color.
Oh, and they're sorry,
And they're pretty
it's terrible.
ordinary.
Buy an old
And they have
camera.
games built into them and stuff. And I was like, nah. So I had a bit of a dig through a box and found my old original TG one, which was my original underwater camera, because it of itself in the case was like waterproof to like 50 meters if you took care of the seals, which is pretty good. You lose the light before you lose the... And so yeah, I charged it up, and it's a tough camera. It's supposed to be, you know, shockproof to 3 meters and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, let's give this to a small child and see how shockproof you are now. But yeah, she's been running around and taking like the best terrible photos with it.
Great.
Lots of up nose pictures, lots of things she finds interesting.
Yeah, nice.
Which is such a good lens.
Yeah, very cool. Oh well, that is a great idea.
Well, otherwise it's just languishing in a drawer, right? So find a way to be creative. Get out there, give it a go. Sure.
Love it. Good advice.
So I think on that we've hit the hour mark, Ben. So we might say hooray, and I guess we'll see you all after the Adobe New Zealand Educators Conference in the beginning of October.
That's it. Well, we'll see you there and then see you after it.
Yes, because it is fully online. So you will see us there. And then I guess we might do a little bit of a recap of the conference, because our next episode is like 2 days after.
Yes, let's do it. Let's do it.
So it's going to be good. We're going to learn some things from our wonderful colleagues in education. And you all take care, and we'll see you soon.
See you later.
Cheers.